Hello, this is Lisa and Mary from Artemis Sacred Journeys, and Vijali's here. We're here today just to talk about the retreat, the teachings, the highlights, kind of bringing you to Tinos and bringing Vijali back to Tinos.
Yeah, this is a very exciting opportunity for anyone who's interested in coming to this island, because Vijali has done a major piece of work there as part of her World Will for Peace. And she's been an inspiration for me to establish a life there and really return to that island and return to the temples and return to the temples of these goddesses, reclaim them as contemporary priestesses.
Mm-hmm.
So Vijali has a tremendous amount to offer us this year, in that her presence will be there. And she is a wise woman who has tremendous teachings. And I'm very honored that Vijali is going to be returning to Tinos and with Lisa and myself, offering this really exciting retreat that really focuses on us reclaiming the divine feminine, reclaiming ourselves as women who make a difference in the world, and how we can support each other at this moment in time to return to the world and bring this work, come together and do this work together, and then go back out in the world in support of each other.
Yeah, I call it like we become bees and we pollinate after this retreat. So Vijali, tell us, you're going to offer some amazing teachings. Tell us about them. I know one has to do with the serpent.
Yes, the serpent is so important. And I found out when I went to Tinos in 1989 that the island was habitated with serpents in the ancient days, and they called it Land of the Serpents. And I felt that it was a really important, and I didn't know that until after I had decided to stay there on the island and do the work.
Wow.
I had first just fell in love with the village there, the people. At that time, it was not a tourist place. Not a lot of people knew about Tinos, but it was so sweet to be with the village people and the land there. And I had made my decision to stay there and work. And then after that, I found out about that it was the land of the serpents. On this wonderful bay that I would go to meditate. And there was this big boulder there. And I saw this serpent in the boulder. You know, it's a little raised place. And there was like a serpent head sticking out. And I just realized I needed to carve that and paint it, really honor that ancient energy of the island.
Wow.
And then, of course, the serpent is one of the first images of the goddess. You'll see in ancient carvings the serpent with a woman's head and breasts. And even before the goddesses that we will be introduced to emerged, people worshipped the serpent as the goddess. So it was Gaia, the earth herself, and the great goddess and the serpent goddess were the first images really that were worshipped, that we find, you know, in these few sculptures that have been found in images of that early period. So I just felt like it goes to the root of ourselves, you know, to touch into that serpent power that is the origin of the goddess. And it's that strength and wisdom that guided the people of that early period.
Yeah, it's amazing. And would you consider that kind of like creative energy or Shakti or Kundalini?
Yes. Well, yes, of course. Other cultures too have developed that image more into the Kundalini energy that is in us. The later the chakras were developed. And so that power, supposedly now in the research that people have done, that serpent power enters the fetus at about 3 months, which is consciousness. You know, the fetus becomes conscious, and it is that kundalini power that starts to grow. And then when the baby is born, it goes to sleep. It kind of curls up in the body and goes back to sleep at the base of the spine. And then in our lives, you know, it may be some experience that happens, like this incredible sunset, or falling in love, or a piece of music. You know, it rises when we have that kind of ecstatic feeling, joy and you know, that moment. You know, that serpent power rises, and we expand into this serpent goddess with more knowledge. And then, you know, in our life, it just kind of goes to sleep again. And so this is what I want to address, that we can raise that original energy in us, and really be that original goddess.
So we're going to rise that archetype up, that primal goddess. That's so exciting. And it's a perfect spot. So I'll just kind of walk through the days, because I know we're starting on a Thursday, and basically we're going to activate the priestess. And then Vijali, you said that each day you're going to do a serpent meditation. Can you talk about that a bit?
A meditation on this serpent power within us. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So that'll be kind of the anchor of this whole amazing experience. And so the beginning, we'll gather around in a circle and we'll talk about what is the goddess to us. And then in the evening, we're going to make little goddess figurines. And we're going to do essential oils and really treat ourselves like goddess. The next day, we're going to go to the church. And maybe Mary, you can talk about the church, because it's such a special pilgrimage place.
In Tinos, this particular island is a destination, a very important religious iconic church. It's one of the most famous churches in the Greek Orthodox religion. And pilgrims from all over Greece come to this church as a way to receive the healing waters, the purification of the healing waters, and being anointed. And we'll have an opportunity to go to this church and experience it's a church for the Blessed Mother. So it's her manifestation in the Greek Orthodox religion as we know it today. It's built on a very ancient temple. That was a Dionysian temple that celebrated the feminine, and it was sort of a very sacred site on this island. And we're going to have an opportunity to go up there and do a purification of ourselves, asking for a miracle in our own personal lives, and really connect with the culture of what is the icon that is healing for Tinos. And you'll learn more about that. And that day is a very special day because it sort of orients you to the Greek islands and the Greek culture and the Greek people and the customs. And what this island is centered around is it's actually a pilgrimage. People all over Greece actually pilgrimage to this island, and we're going to be pilgrimaging to this island as well. So it's a destination that calls to the spiritual journey for all of us.
Yeah, that's amazing. And that day the archetype is Gaia. So we're gonna all be embracing the big mother Gaia. And in the morning, Vijali will do yoga and art together, and Vijali is going to do like a pranayama meditation or breath work.
Yeah.
So really activating that.
Yes.
And then in the evening we'll have workshops, and the next day is a really special day. Have you been to Kiona, Vijali? Did you get to Kiona when you were there?
No.
Oh.
Kiona is a temple that's right on the beach at Tinos, and in ancient times it was the original temple of Aphrodite, where she was the wife of Poseidon. So the second day we will go there and we will reenact and reclaim this sacred site, where we'll go and through a ritual and a ceremony, we will call forth the purification of ourselves as we begin our initiation as priestesses.
That's beautiful.
Right.
And that day, the archetype is Aphrodite. So it'll all be about sensuality, about relationships, and things like that. The next day is the epic day. We're going to Delos. And Delos is the magical island, the birthplace of Artemis and Apollo. And if you want to add a little to that, Mary, because you've been journeying there a long time.
Delos is a very powerful island. It was an island that was the central sort of place of all these temples all over the Mediterranean in ancient times. It has a temple from many different, all the different cultures, from Egypt, from ancient Greece. It had the first Jewish synagogue there. So it was really an island where people from all over the Mediterranean came in and made offerings to the gods and the goddesses. It's the birthplace of Artemis and Apollo, where there's a beautiful sacred lake where Leto gave birth to Artemis. She was the lover of Zeus, so there's these wonderful legends that we'll be immersing ourselves in. What's so incredible about Delos is it has a powerful healing light. The light energy that's coming down from the sun is very powerful there, and it gives us, when we lay in the sacred lake, it's like we are remapping or repatterning our own energy light field. So it's very healing in and of itself to go there.
It's amazing.
We're going to be experiencing returning to these temples, making our offerings to the goddesses, and reclaiming ourselves as returning priestesses to these ancient temples, and sort of getting a sense of who we are in our life today as we present ourselves to basically know ourselves as we are priestesses today in the world.
Beautiful. And then, Vijali, we're going to go to your Boulder. And if you want to talk about that day, that's going to be a beautiful day on Levada Beach.
Yes, I'm so excited to be able to go there and share that spot with everyone. And so we will go there and do kind of a cleansing of ourselves and the stone. And I always, before I work, I always talk to the stone or the land in a ceremony of asking permission to touch it if anything is altered. And there have been times that I haven't received permission, and I would not touch an area. But this place, we will ask the stone if we can repaint it to its original painting that was on that many years ago, and work together just to paint it in ceremony. And then afterwards we'll have a little blessing of the area again, to activate that energy, because I feel sacred places, they need our attention to keep that activation of what the original purpose was, or sacredness of an area. So we will activate that again in the stone, in the serpent, and in ourselves.
Wonderful. Hello? Oh. It's going to be amazing. And then the following day is when we have the priestess initiation at Mary's Mountain House. And if you want to talk about that, that's a special, epic event.
My whole vision of all of us coming together is for us to return to create a community of women that honor the divine feminine. And my home on Greece was like a place, a spiritual home for me. And I found and discovered a beautiful spring that's in around my home.
Mm-hmm.
It's a private place, and it allows us to do a very beautiful spiritual ritual where we'll co-create an initiation for ourselves. Because each woman that arrives in Tinos and arrives at this workshop, in this retreat, really brings her priestess self.
Mm-hmm.
And this is an opportunity for us to stand together as women and know and us be able to be in a community that honors us, acknowledges each other, where we can initiate each other into this work as what we do in our life is sacred spiritual work. So we're going to co-create a ritual together where we initiate each other as priestesses. And this to me is such an important event. It's like something I've done work in my own personal life and done so many workshops and so many retreats. And I really was looking for a place that just honored me as a woman, doing exactly what I did in life and allowing me to be the priestess and be seen as who I am.
It's beautiful, yeah. And I love each goddess, priestess, does a mirror. So we have a mirror where you honor yourself, you reflect. So it's like the women that are initiated become reflections of each other, and it's just a really powerful, empowering experience. Wonderful. So yeah, every day it's amazing. Tinos is an amazing place. The winds are really strong and full of animation. We're right across the beach, our hotel, and anything else we want to talk about to share. Vijali or Mary, anything?
Well, I'll say what I would like to invite you. This is a very, very, I think that women are reclaiming ourselves as that what we do, that are the fullness of what we have to contribute to the earth is so important.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to illuminate it within ourselves. We need to have a community that acknowledges what we do and what we can communicate, and that we are able to claim who we are in this world that desperately needs the oracle to return. And I believe each woman, the oracle is returning. The oracle is returning from ancient times, and the oracle speaks from each one of us. The oracle speaks through our hearts. So this is really an opportunity for all of us to come together and speak this wisdom and speak the oracle through our own bodies and in our own lives. So I invite you to come to this retreat.
Beautiful.
That is just so wonderful. And at this time when the world seems to be in a state of confusion, I think the women's role is so important and is what can bring a peace and understanding, because I think our nature is for healing and connectivity and not war or separation. So I think our voices are so crucial at this time.
Yeah, it's amazing. For me, it's an activation of reverence, an honoring of reverence. And I think I do too feel right now there's a rising of the divine feminine, and it's happening everywhere. So I think just to be part of this and to be in a collective group, I think you'll be energized, you'll have breakthroughs, you'll connect, and just rise to the highest version of yourself.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you. Welcome, and please join us. This is our second year, and it's going to be so special with Vijali being there with us. So I think this is a fantastic opportunity, and just, we invite you. Our hearts are open, and it's going to be a wonderful experience. So welcome.
Welcome.